Thanks for tuning in. It's Tracy with Record Fuel. We did a road trip to a record show in Carthage, Missouri. It's just a few miles away from Joplin, Missouri. I can tell you, Joplin is not an easy drive. It is about as boring as you can get. You definitely need good company and some music to get you down there from Kansas City. So we headed out early. It was about 8:30. It's about a 2-hour drive, so we got there around 10:30, 10:45 after one stop. Again, it's a 2-hour drive. They had 43 tables set up with 40 different retailers and vendors, record sellers, and they had CDs and DVDs and some autographed memorabilia. And again, a lot of people there. We got there a couple hours after it had actually opened. It opened at 9 o'clock. It was 9 to 3. It was $5 admission to get in, which is pretty customary for something that's in a facility that is being rented. So that's really nice to see that they had it enclosed, so it was air conditioned on a hot day that it was. It had new albums also. There was some specialty stuff, some that dealt in just 45, some that was in jazz and blues. Then there was a vendor that had predominantly all Kiss merchandise. After being there, I don't know, an hour and a half or so, and drove over to, the sponsor, Dig It Record Barn, a barn that had been converted into a record store. Pretty eclectic inside. Again, it was inside of a barn. The owner was at the record show, and I took some albums to trade in. I didn't see anything that really wanted to trade in at the record show, but when I got to Dig It Record Barn, there's a few things that I'm like, wow, I'd really like to get these, see if I can trade something in on it. The personnel at the store at the time was super helpful, but they weren't able to actually take trade-ins and stuff, and he called the owner at the record store, and they FaceTimed, and we talked and showed him my albums, and I was able to trade in about 10 of my albums. I was able to pick up the deluxe 2LP 180 gram reissue Led Zeppelin In Through the Outdoor. This was, I believe, in 2012. I'd seen it when it came out. Didn't really pick it up. I've got a couple of copies of the variants of In Through the Outdoor, but very cool because this is the original album remastered, and then it has some outtakes on it on a second LP. So very cool to get that at a really reasonable price. And I was able to pick one up that really is considered an import, but it's Pearl Jam, the songs they didn't write. And again, it's an import, or what most people would call a bootleg. But this is off of Parachute Records, which I've seen a lot of their stuff, and it seems to be what I've gotten from them is pretty good quality. Some really cool things that are on this one. I was able to pick this up though there after trading in. It's got Everyday People on it, Let My Love Open the Door by The Who, let's see, Mother by Pink Floyd, and Throw Your Hatred Down. So a lot of really good cool stuff on that. But then there's one that was on my list that I haven't been able to find it, or what I thought was a reasonable price was John Coltrane, A Love Supreme. I've been looking for this, and I just, this was a reissue, but I just didn't want to pay the $25 or $35 to get it, and they had this for $14, brand new sealed. I pulled it out and played it. It sounds great, and it was just what I thought it was going to be. It is a great jazz album. I mean, his saxophone on this is terrific. I can just see myself on a Saturday morning drinking coffee and listening to this album. This is just a terrific album that just plays really quickly, and it's good. So I was able to pick up those 3 albums from Dig It Record Barn. Record shows are always cool. You're never sure what you're going to find or what you're going to see. This one was well organized. It's always great to get out and go and check it out. The best part about going to shows or stores or things like that is you get to meet the people. So getting to meet the employees there at the Dig It Record Barn was really cool, talking to him, and also all the people at the show. I mean, the atmosphere is always just, really, really neat. And you can see there are people like me that have been collecting for a while, but then there's people that it's really exciting when you see that are just starting to collect, and they're flipping through the bins and they're like, oh wow, this is so cool, this is cool. You know, I'm thinking, yeah, I've got it. And it's like, you know, it's really cool meeting all the people and being at those shows and doing those things. So it's always fun to get out and go on little road trips. So again, thanks for tuning in. Watch the rest of the video. I'll show you some highlights from the show and dig it record bond, and probably do a review here. You can do the review off of Leon Bridges' new Gold Digger Sound, which is a tremendous album, and also the Spin Around from Worlds of Fun. So again, thanks for tuning in. It's Tracy. Hi there, I want to go ahead and do the review on Leon Bridges' new Gold Digger Sound. I've had this album for, well, just since it came out a couple weeks ago, and I just love it. It's great. It is a transition album for him, I would think. I think previously his first two albums were kind of soul, but kind of had a really gospel feel to it. And this definitely is what I would call modern soul. I mean, it still has a little bit of that archival feel to it, where it's kind of a throwback, but the bass in this and the way the songs are arranged, a new sound, soul to it. I was really glad to get it. I ordered it from Target. So I typically have most of my albums that I pick up are through just my local record stores around here. I pre-order them to come in because they get the indie releases. Well, the indie releases that the local record stores had, the independent releases had, they just had a different album cover. They didn't actually have a colored vinyl or anything, and Target had this, and it was actually cheaper also. I mean, just a few bucks, but still, what really intrigued me is the color, and really cool. This is my own sleeve that I put it in, but it is a gold kind of swirl on that, so it's really cool to have that as opposed to the black, and the price was actually a little less, but the packaging on it's really nice. I mean, they got this, why you should buy records on it, some stuff to read. It's the stuff that you don't get when you have a digital MP3 or a CD. You don't get this cool stuff that actually says, you know, here's how to give your records more than what you want, and it has a whole bunch of lists of stuff, and then vinyl productions and technical notes on it, how to take care of your records on the back, and some really cool stuff. But this is actually the sleeve. The only drawback on that is that it's paper, scratch up your record if you're putting it in and out. But it came with a booklet, which is really cool also. But that's all the songs on there. I think my two favorite songs on there is really Gold Diggers and probably Don't Worry is probably my two favorites, but they're all really good. This album plays so quick, you go, oh wow, the side's over, and you have to flip it again, and so you just keep rotating it around. But really cool to get it. But it's I think this is a transition album for Leon Bridges in regards to the style that he had. I mean, it again, I feel like it's just kind of modern soul, a lot of bass to this album on it. Cool to get it from Target and on the colored vinyl. But again, that's my review. If you like Leon Bridges, I think you should pick this one up. It's a little bit different than his others, which is exactly what you want. You want an artist to progress and give you something different each time it's out, but still staying pretty close to what you really like about them. So I'm giving Gold Diggers sound a big 5 stars in my opinion. So again, it's Tracy. Thanks for tuning in. So a while back, we bought season passes to Worlds of Fun and Oceans of Fun. It is an amusement park and a water park here in Kansas City. It is one of the biggest in the Midwest. And we hadn't been for quite a while. We bought these tickets for my son for his birthday, and went out there, hadn't been for a few years, and really the price of a season pass is if you go 2 times and pay for parking once. It was a really good deal. It was like $80 a ticket, I think, so it's about $40 to go each time, and you have to pay for parking. So we basically have gone a couple times already, and they've already paid for themselves. So through the rest of the year, it's all just gravy, as so they would say. But being pleasantly surprised to the grounds and the rides and just the quality of how the amusement park has been kept up and renovated, as you can see with some of the video that I'm going to show you afterwards, that it's really nice. I mean, I was really pleasantly surprised from the last time that I went out there at how much it had changed, and I hadn't been in, it'd been 5 or 6 years at least since we'd been. I would suggest if you don't have something to do and you're in Kansas City, it's really nice, a great place for you to take your kids. They got a lot of younger kid rides. I think Snoopy's Land is what it's called, and I'm guessing there's 10 to 15 rides at least over there for smaller kids that aren't, ready to go on big roller coasters or anything like that. And they've got lots of good rides for, obviously the adults. They got a couple of really big roller coasters, the Mamba and the Timberwolf, which is a wood roller coaster. Some big rides like Detonator and some things like that. So I think it's a really nice place to visit. And remember, be good and do good. Thanks for tuning in. It's Tracy with Record Fuel.